the speech that Barack Obama gave at Cairo University, opening the dialogue and the discourse of the West to the Islamic race. And I saw it, my metaphor, which is an ill guess to the reality of our experience. Metaphor is the ill guess. My metaphor was to take the Cairo speech and play it theatrically as this tired, dirty old circus that went bankrupt, was this great moment where people could go and have a great afternoon of exotic and otherworldly leisure time, but it just ran out of steam. The circus left town, and all we have left is just these broken shards, fragments, banners, the old snake lady, and that's all that's left. And so that's, to me, is the metaphor for the Cairo speech. And this goes back to what you were saying about cowboys. Yeah, I think I love this piece. I didn't put this piece in Ver because it didn't seem to fit, but to me this piece is like the inability of certainly the author and the work to ever even think itself past that first initial step. Yeah, let's redesign the poster for Hair the Musical. Maybe not a good idea. Okay, never mind. So this is like, never mind. '70s internet clowns, marquee clowns, Trevor Butterfield, Pasolini, Otto Dix, Palestine, Cipher of the Revolution. Ver. Spare change. Packed up, coming and going, God knows.
You just said sums up a lot of the coming and going, God knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. Coming and going, God.
Is it new? Is it old? Was
Yeah.
it just made? Was it
Meaning
It's warehouse.
is it gone?
And that's it.
Any questions or comments? This is your chance. This is the. Well, it is a wonderful installation.
Still, is the show still up?
Yes, yeah. You used opened a week ago, right? This last week.
Yeah, last Sunday.
And
Week
it'll be
to
up
go.
until late October.
Something like that.
So what would you say if, I mean, I have similar things going on. I'm an artist and also I do writing and I've done theory stuff. But in this idea that, kind of just like a random idea that went through my head, that in terms of, someone had said something about that it's all symbolic, in the sense that it's all symbolic, in a way you could also say there's the loss of the symbolic, right? Because if it's all symbolic, then the symbol still means something, right? And then it still stands for something. So in a way, I would actually seem to think that it's more the dissolution of the symbolic in terms of art, and this idea also of metaphor, like when you say the ill guest, right, which is really lovely. But then also there could be this sense too, in terms of, because you kind of started your talk with this sort of trajectory from conceptualism, or like pop and conceptualism to the present, that in some ways, like in terms of contemporary art, almost in a way, I just had this random thought that art's trying perhaps too hard to be language, right, or to be like language, or to speak like language, and that maybe it's maybe this is a random like sort of balloon thought that maybe it should sort of get away from language, right? Like in the sense that there's a loss of symbolism, there's a loss of the symbolic, even in contemporary.
And what would that look like?
Exactly. That's sort of the question. I don't know what that would look like.
The danger of that, and I'm not sure. I kind of get what you're saying. I'm not sure if I'm doing or not doing what you're saying, but the danger, what my reaction to that would be, yeah, we can always get away from the language and go back to this kind of greater glory of the sublime and the definition of beauty once again for the 1 millionth time. Or traditionalism, or I don't know. I don't know where to go from here. I don't know where to go from here. I know it's like and I don't think there's that so much urgency involved, but it's like when the building's burning, you know how to run out. But where are you going? I don't know. I don't know where we're going. All I know is what to reject and to make work that's entertainingly, contemplatively,
kind of immersed in that, accepting and rejecting, and like it's almost like you're.
But I also believe that there needs to be a certain amount of like you want the audience to be like, you got to take them so far, and then you either enrage them or reward them, or pat them on the back, or comfort them, or give them some sort of leisure time or something. But I mean, yeah, I do believe you have to take them by the hand. But I just think that the terrain that I like to operate in is very much, I don't know what I'm saying, very much not for everyone. Very, like I'm not interested in work that seems very, oh, I get it, or I understand it, or it's, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I want to be challenged on the minutiae of discursive discrepancies. That's what I like. Like I want to have to have read, the 3 volumes before I can even offer an opinion. What?
No, I'm just thinking about that, and I think in many ways what your work does is it does reflect that condition we feel that we're in. Everybody's still searching in some ways to get back to some kind of meaning or significance, or right or wrong, or left, and I think that your work revels in that condition. You accept that in a way. That's where maybe you're suggesting that, and I want to say you necessarily suggesting anything, but as somebody coming into your work, my experience is it's almost like culture jamming. This phenomenon we talk about where you take a system of knowledge and you jam something in the middle of it, and you say, it's all broken. Can't you see that? Let me stop it for a moment. Let me stop the illusion. It's a little bit like what we call culture jamming, which grew out of the 90s.
Right.
That the archive does not define reality. The university does not define reality. The academics' books don't define. It's all relative. It's all spinning.
But for an artist, though, it's like the work has to do that. That's why I wanted to start the show with the Chaim Steinbecks, because like, fucking hey, man, they are what they say they are. Do what they say they are. Everything that you see is everything that they do, and everything that you could ever hope them to want to be. They stop the world, they start the world,
And they don't
It's
need
all
any
right
further
there.
explanation.
Yeah. And that's that's when a work of art is really great. And that's what I aspire to personally, is to have that moment where they get, it's like, but you have to have that kind of praxis in the work. It can't be the metaphor. It can't be the referred object. It's got to be, by its mere existence, it's got to stop the world. It's got to be the break.
Well, the Russian formalists used to say, they wanted to make things strange again because everything's become so familiar to us. And in some ways, I think that's what your aesthetic does. It makes you stop.
Well, certainly in the
What
world of
heck is
painting,
this?
Malevich did that.
Yeah,
And that's why we love him.
right,
What can you say after that?
right.
You're speechless. You have no speech.
That part of the show.
the ring of the well, thank you so much,
Welcome.
Dennis. It's wonderful to have this opportunity.
Here's a question.
Gio, thank you for hosting. Yes, go right
Yeah, I'm
ahead.
wondering if Gregory or Dennis, you saw this show a few years ago at the new museum that was looking back on the East Village scene. What did you think about their
I did
take on
see that
those
show.
years? And
I did see that
Which
show.
one is that?
Dan Cameron?
Mhm.
Was it Dan Cameron? his show?
Yeah.
I don't
Yes, I don't know. I was here, so I didn't see it. But
I did see it, and it was exactly kind of what
Did
it
they capture that?
might sound like to you. It was like what was going on in the East Village was antithetical to the museumship. And so it didn't win, it didn't live, it didn't succeed. It had the East Village. The East Village died. Commodity work died. It died like, the death that all work dies. And then it gets into the museum. And then it goes into the collection. It becomes part of the Metropolitan. And it lives a different life after death. So it was like that. It was like walking into the after-death new life of things that mattered. Now they matter in a different way. They matter historically. And that's important, but it's not life.
right.
So that's what that was like.
Yeah.
It's almost like
It was a good
yes,
show.
Those artworks are almost like your particles. They begin to engage in other realities and other collections and other joinings. Well, on that note.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read. There was a great little blurb by Tricia Collins talking about negativism as being, and skepticism as being such a richly vibrant and rewarding occupation.
Well, it's endless material. Thank you, Ben.
Welcome.
Thank you, everyone.